Hey everyone, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Um Welcome to the Friday night edition of CBG News. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. I hope everyone is excited about the weekend. I hope everybody's glad to be off. I know I am. Um So make sure you guys hit the like button as you come in. And if you want to share me out, share me out. I appreciate each of you. I appreciate each of you for always coming through and giving me support. We're going to wait a few minutes. We're going to wait a few minutes and then we're going to get into it. Um, like I said, I was going to review this Imani Moss, listen to the testimony of Imani Moss's father, Eman Moss. In my opinion, I'm just gonna wait to give my opinion, but I'm gonna wait a minute and I'm gonna wait for some people to come in and then we're gonna get into it. I know he is this whole situation is a sad situation for a child to lose her life because someone starved her to death is just pitiful. And you deserve everything that you get because of the fact of what you have done. So I'm gonna wait a minute for some people to come in and then we're gonna get into it. Make sure you guys press that like button. Make sure you guys press that like button. And if you wanna share me out, share me out. I do appreciate it. Um, Make sure that you know what I'm saying. You could come in. Hey Kendra, how are you today? Thank you for coming. How are you today? I hope you had a good day today. Glad it's Friday, honey. It is hot here. It is hot here. And honey, my air is working. Thank you, Lord. Still. I be so nervous about my air because it's easy to get cut off. I pray every day that I don't have to spend a lot of money on this air. But thank you, Kendra, for coming. I hope you're excited about the weekend. Hope you do something to enjoy your weekend. Even if you're just sitting at home watching Netflix. I think I'm not gonna. I'm well. I'm well. I had a decent day as well. Just glad to be off work, honey. Just glad to be off work. If you know what it's like to work every day, all day, waking up at 5:30 in the morning and probably don't lay back down to about 11. It's like you're up more than you're sleeping. I can truly say that you're up more than you are sleeping. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to let some people come in, um, and then we're going to get into it. Um, I'm just gonna wait another minute or so. But if you are don't know anything while I'm waiting for some few more people to come in, if you is yes, if you are just now coming on and you have not heard the story about Imani Moss. Imani Moss was a little, I think she was 10 years old. She was 10, 11, 12-year-old little girl. She was starved, beaten. At one time, her stepmother beaten her to the point that she was removed from the home. And she had charges brought upon her. That's the stepmother. Well, the father got her back, and the baby was starved to death by her mother. Not her mother, her stepmother, and her name is Tiffany Moss. Tiffany Moss is the first woman that is in Georgia. It's like the second or third woman that's on death row right now in Georgia. She has tried to appeal her sentence. She does have a new trial probably coming up to try to appeal this sentence of death. They sentenced her to death for killing this child by starvation. Like the baby was, you starved the baby, you whooped it, you beat her, and you starved her, and that's sad. Hey Lawrence, how are you? How are you today? Hope you had a wonderful day, Lawrence. It's good to see you. It is good to see you. Um, but yeah, like we we like the 2 weeks ago, 2 Fridays ago, we listened to the prosecutor's open testimony. And today, what we're going to do, we're going to listen to some parts of Imani's story through her father. I'm going to keep myself together, and I'm going to try to pray to keep myself in, um, you know, and not say ugly things. But we're going to listen to the father's testimony. The father he is currently serving prison time for the rest of his life. He got life. That's his plea, was life without parole. If he testified against his wife. And so, hey, Nancy, how are you? And we're going to listen to his testimony. And I just want you, the question that I have, do you guys think that he deserved the death penalty too? Do you think that he was just henpecked and blinded by love? Or and we know he failed his daughter, but you're going to listen to his story because the man worked 24/7. Hey, Chris, how are you? The man worked 24/7. So we're going to listen to this story, and then I'm going to put the link down in the description box. Y'all can put it in the chat or whatever. And we're going to discuss how we feel about his testimony. This may be a little bit too much. It is a little bit explicit. It may be too much for some people's ears, but I'm going to go ahead and forewarn you, like, the story becomes very graphic, and it's very sad what he did to try to help cover it up. And I just want to give you guys the heads up before I play this video. Hey, Nancy. Hey, King Chris World. Thank you guys for coming. And I'm sorry. And I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Friday. As you guys know, guys, before I play this video, I do not own the rights to this. So I want to make sure I tell you guys that. So we're going to go ahead and start listening to the father's testimony. As I stated before, his name is Imani Moss, and we're going to listen to his testimony and see what he has to say. He testified against his wife, and they currently are still married. Okay, y'all.
Mr. Sheriff, could I ask, well, I'm going to have to show this defendant some photographs. Is it possible to unshackle one of his hands? Thank you. Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. All right, can you scoot your chair up a little bit? You can put your hand down and speak directly to the microphone so the jury and the judge and the court can hear you clearly. Could you state your name, please? Imani Moss. And can you spell both your first and your middle name for the court reporter? First name Imani, and middle name is Giovanni, Giovanni. And how old are you, Mr. Moss? 35 weeks. How long? Where do you currently reside? Smith State Prison. Right. And are you currently serving a sentence at Smith State? Yes, sir. What sentence are you currently serving? Life without what? Right. And is that because of a guilty plea that you entered in regard to the case you're in court here today on?
Yes, sir.
And what did you plead guilty to?
Felony, child cruelty, and consented death.
Right. And who was the victim in those cases?
My daughter, Imani Moss.
And do you remember when you actually entered that plea of guilty?
Not familiar with I know it was in the month of August 2015. I know that much. I can't remember the date.
That's close enough. And so since August of 2015, you've been serving the sentence on that case.
Yes, sir.
Do you know, I'm going to show you what I've had marked as State's Exhibit number 3. Your Honor, may I approach the witness? Yes, sir. Can you take a look at that? And in particular, this document here. And can you identify State's Exhibit number 3 to the best of your ability?
You said 3? Talk about the count?
No, it's State's Exhibit number 3, but can you tell us, do you recognize that document?
Yes, I recognize the document.
And can you tell the jury what that document is?
I'm trying to, you talking about the indictment itself?
The indictment, and did you sign a copy of that indictment entering your plea of guilt?
Yes.
And then let me flip over to the first page of that document. Do you recognize this as the sentence that you received?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, the State, I'm sorry, I'll show you. Your Honor, having shown the document to the defendant, the State would now tender State's Exhibit number 3, which is a certified copy of the indictment, plea, and sentence, a certified copy of those in case number 14B00384-10.
Any objection? Any objection? He's tendering it. All right. States 3 is admitted without objection.
Mr. Moss, do you know the defendant in this case?
Yes.
Tiffany, and what is her name?
Tiffany Moss.
Do you see her in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point her out?
Yes, she's right there.
All right. Can you just for the record, can you describe what she's wearing?
I guess pants, button-up shirt with stripes.
For the record, the witness has identified the defendant, Tiffany Nicole Moss, by describing her clothing and pointing her out in front of the jury. How do you know Tiffany Moss?
She's my wife.
Are you currently married?
Yes.
When did y'all meet?
We met, let's say when I first met her, I want to say around 2007.
Okay.
At the church.
Which church was that?
Freedom Christian Church.
Were you attending that church?
Yes.
With who? Who'd you usually go to church with?
Me and my daughter.
Who's your daughter?
Imani.
And how did you meet the defendant?
I met her through a friend that knew her.
All right. Did y'all strike up a friendship?
At that time, it was just like, casual. At the time, because I just met her like friends. We used to go out to eat and so on as a group at the church.
For about how long did that casual relationship last?
It was more like an acquaintance thing. She was off and on.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was in school at that time.
Right. Let me go back and ask you a little bit about Emani. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit out of order, but can you tell me when Emani was born?
Yes. She born April 23rd, 2003.
And did you at that time have a relationship with Imani's mother?
Yes.
Where is Imani's mother now? Do you know?
Honestly, I do not know.
At some point, did you go to court and get sole custody
Yes, sir.
of Imani?
Yeah.
Did you have a document that terminated the parental rights of Imani's mother?
Yes, I had a legitimate advice through this. I know it through the court. I just can't even pronounce it right now.
Okay.
Say legitimate. I can't say it.
And did her mother surrender her rights in that same court case?
Yes, sir.
Did Imani's mother ever have any relationship with her, other than giving birth to her?
I say at one time we were staying together, but after that, it was more like her using the key as a pawn.
Right. Do you know whether or not during the time after you got sole custody, did you ever give her mother any visitation, or did Imani ever go see her mother?
Once I did that, the location that she was living at, the number that she gave me, she was gone, and I didn't have no way to get in touch with her.
Okay. So, is it fair to say that for a number of years prior to 2013, Imani had no contact with her birth mother?
True.
And so, as a result of that, did you feel free to engage in and start a relationship with the defendant?
Yes.
You weren't tied down or living with anybody or anything like that, were you?
No, I was just rooming with Rudy Kirkland.
And who's Rudy Kirkland?
He's a friend and someone I call and consider a cousin.
But he's not related to you by blood.
Not by blood.
Did y'all grow up together, you and Rudy?
Yeah.
And is he someone that you confide in?
Yes, sir.
Is he someone that you trust?
Yeah.
And how long have y'all been friends?
Since I was about 13. About 13 when I met him.
Okay. So tell the jury about after you had this casual acquaintance relationship with the defendant.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said that you would go out to dinner with groups of people from the church.
That is correct.
At some point, did that relationship move from casual to something more serious?
That was later on.
About how long?
I want to say 2009. I'd say late 2008. I'm not really trying to get the date, but I know that's about around that time frame.
So would it be fair to say it was approximately 2 years?
Yeah.
And during the 2-year period between 2007 and 2009, did the defendant ever meet your daughter, Emani?
Yes, all the time.
And did she and Emani seem to get along?
Yes, from the moment at church, yeah.
Okay. Was there any problem? Did she seem to express any problems seeing you in a romantic way because of the fact that you had a child?
No, I don't think so.
And did she ever express any concerns about getting into a relationship with you that you had because you had a child?
No, sir.
And so you said in 2009 things started to get a little more serious. Tell us about what you mean by that and how the relationship progressed.
2009, it started out with a date. I received a phone call, and she asked me out on a date.
Okay.
And we went from a date and went on a couple of dates, and then we ended up getting real serious.
Okay. And by real serious,
a committed relationship.
So you decided,
boyfriend.
I'm sorry, you did. How did you make that decision? How did you make that decision to be committed? Did you just tell each other, or?
Yeah.
And so did the committed relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, I think you used the words.
Yes, sir.
Did that progress along?
For a while. And then during 2009, I know I proposed. So we were dating want to say we're dating about 7, maybe 8 months, maybe 8 or 9. I can't remember from the time frame, but I know it's around that for our proposal.
So in 2009, you were ready to pull the trigger. You were ready
for marriage. Yeah.
And did the defendant accept your proposal?
Yes, sir.
When were you married?
July 2009.
And where did that happen?
Happened at Freedom Christian Church.
So, what did you move in together before you were married or after you got married?
After we got married.
And where did you first live when you were first married?
First we were living where I was currently, rooming with Ruby Kirkland. I can't really remember the address. I know it's in Morrisville.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough. You don't need the specific. So was it you, Tiffany, Imani, and Rudy?
Yes, and his daughter.
So how long did that last, do you think?
That was like, I think I moved in, 2010, triple code, 2995 triple code at the house when we moved under, when I was rooming with Rudy.
Okay.
We got our own place.
When you had your own place, were you working at that time?
Yes.
Where were you working?
At that time, I'm working at a company, it changed the name, it's KGP, but at that time, the name was Embark Logistics.
And what type of work did you do?
Warehousing.
2010, what type of schedule did you work?
At that time, I worked in a day shift from 6:30 to 3:30.
Okay. And was Imani going to school?
Yes, sir.
And was Tiffany working?
Yes, she was a pre-K teacher.
Are you aware whether or not Tiffany has a college degree?
Yeah, she told me she had a college degree.
And was working as the pre-K teacher part of what she had gotten her degree in?
I think so.
And Imani was living with you.
Yes.
So while you were in that house in 2010, how were things between you?
It was good. It was a honeymoon phase.
All right. Did you feel like you had enough money and with your incomes and that things were pretty good?
Yeah, it was easy.
And so what happened then? When did you move out of that house?
When I'm moving out of that house, I'd say November, was it 2000? Was it 2011? I think, I'm not sure. 10 or 11.
Okay. And where did you move to?
I moved with my mother-in-law.
Okay. Why did y'all move to your mother-in-law's house?
Money got tight.
Money got tight. And why did money get tight?
At that time, I was the only one working.
Okay. And why wasn't Tiffany working?
She ended up losing her job.
At some point, either when you lived with your mother-in-law or at the house in 2011, did Tiffany get pregnant?
Yes.
And did she eventually give birth to your son, Tristan?
That's correct.
During the time she was either pregnant or right after she gave birth, did she work at all?
No.
And with her not working, what did you feel like her responsibility within the couple was?
Stay home, Mom.
And did you feel like it was her responsibility to take care of the children?
Yes, sir.
And what were the children that were living with you at that point?
At that time, in 2010, it was Tristan, my son, and Imani.
And you were living at your mother-in-law's house?
Yes.
Is that Pearlie Bashir?
Yes.
How long did you live at Miss Bashir's house?
From that time frame, from the end of 2010 to, I'm going to say the summer of 2011, we stayed That's about, I say we moved out 2010 November from Triple. And then we ended up moving with my mother-in-law in 2011. I think we left that summer. I want to say June, when I signed a new lease at another place.
I think you just said you signed a lease at another place. Was that apartment?
Yes, sir.
And where was that apartment located?
Club Drive.
So when you got to Club Drive, who was in the house with you? Who lived at that apartment?
It was me, Tiffany, Imani, and Tristan.
Why did you move out of Pearlie's house?
It was really tight at that time.
Tight?
As far as room.
Okay. So there were a bunch of people in the house?
Yes.
Who was living in the house that first time you moved in with Pearlie?
It was me, Tiffany, Tristan, Imani, and her mother.
During that period of time, how was Imani's health?
It was good.
Did she ever exhibit any signs of not wanting to eat or an eating disorder or anything along those lines?
No, sir.
Was she an active child?
Yes, sir.
Did she do okay in school?
Yes, sir.
When you moved into the Club Drive apartment, was she still in school?
Yes.
And were you still working the day shift?
Yes.
What had happened that made you, well, I understand the room, but obviously then the Club Drive situation, was money tight then?
Yes, it was still kind of tight.
Did you feel like you could make it on what you were earning?
Yes.
So how long did that last at Club Drive?
Until my lease was up, and I ended up having to move back with the mother-in-law.
Why?
Tiffany had got pregnant again.
And was that with your daughter Emma?
Yes, sir.
So when did you find out that Tiffany was pregnant with Emma?
I'm trying, I can't really remember when. I just know she said she was pregnant. And let me state this. I know when the first pregnancy was hard, she was like on bed rest, so I'm really predicting as soon as she's gonna be on bed rest with Emma also.
So when your lease expired at Club Drive, you moved back into Miss Bashir's house, right?
Yes.
How long did you stay there?
I ended up staying there until 2013. I want to say September.
And then where did you go in September of 2013?
I think Miranda Chase Drive. I think that's the address. I can't remember the number, but I know it was in Lawrence's apartment.
And is that the apartment where you were taken into custody?
Yes, sir.
I want to go back to 2010. Do you recall where you were interviewed by the Gwinnett County Police Department in regard to an issue with Imani?
Yes.
Tell the jury how you found out about that and how that happened.
I was at work, and I get a phone call from I think a detective. I can't remember her name, but I know I got a phone call from a detective saying I had to come to the police station. They didn't tell me what. They just said I didn't need an emergency. I think pertaining to your child. So I just left work, let my manager know, and I just hopped in the car and just drove all the way down there.
Right. While you were at the police department, did you find out that your wife had been accused of beating your child?
Yes, when I got down there.
And did you give a statement to the police in that regard?
Yes, I spoke with the detective.
And did you become aware that she was eventually arrested?
Yes, she got arrested there.
And do you know whatever happened with that case?
She took a plea of probation, 5 years to my knowledge.
Tell me what life was like after that at your house.
It was rough.
Was Tiffany allowed to work as a teacher after that?
No.
Did Tiffany ever work after 2010?
No.
Yeah, I just want to say this. She wasn't no damn teacher. She just worked at the damn daycare. I'm just gonna be real about that. Like, she was not a real teacher. She was at the daycare. Simple-minded person. Okay. I just want to say that she was not a teacher. Oh, hold on.
Do you recall where you were interviewed by the Gwinnett County Police Department in regard to an issue with Imani?
Yes.
Tell the jury how you found
And stuff all on the arm and back.
Hold on.
discipline a child. What does that mean to you?
At that time,
Of her weight, or
no.
did you ever see any problems between Imani and Tiffany while you were at Pearlie's?
Yes.
Tell me about those.
Ever since going back to 2010, ever since then it was like a love-hate relationship.
Tell me, explain to the jury what you mean by a love-hate relationship.
Her and Imani was like it was always something they couldn't get along.
Did you ever know of Tiffany from 2010, after 2010, to discipline Imani?
No, not until the incident.
Right. I want to ask you, when I say discipline,
Okay.
what discipline a child, what does that mean to you?
At that time, spanking.
But are there other ways to discipline children?
Yes.
Is sending to bed without their supper a way of disciplining a child?
No, that's not.
Is putting them in a corner and putting them in timeout a discipline for a child?
Yes.
So you said that when you said that Tiffany didn't discipline Imani, are you aware of whether or not she used any of the other things other than spanking to correct her behavior?
Yes, after let me go back. When we had the incident where she spanked Imani in 2010, we had to take class. I took they called the fatherhood program, and I think she had to take anger management, and then we had in-home counseling. Because at the time, I was not aware of the other form of discipline, because, I grew up from those who, you got spanking, and that was it.
So you learned about other forms of
Yes,
discipline.
but at the time, I didn't know, but, spanking, and...
So after 2010, did you decide that you were going to use the other forms of discipline other than spanking?
Yes.
And do you know whether or not Tiffany did that too?
Yes, best of my knowledge, I think she did.
Right. And so you moved in did you say in September of 2013?
Yeah.
To the apartment?
Yes, sir.
Where did you live? Did you ever live with your mother?
Yes, that was, you talking about me and Tiffany or just?
You and Tiffany and the children?
No, sir.
Not the three of you didn't live there?
No.
Did Imani ever live with your mother?
Yes, during the incident in 2010.
And after that, was Imani placed with your mother?
No, sir.
Well, how did she end up over there then?
You said that in my mom's house?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, after in 2010, we had the spanking incident. Tiffany spanked Imani. She had whips and stuff all on her arms and back, then legs, a belt whip.
Okay. But the question was, how did she end up staying at your mother's house after?
Defects. We moved out of our home and put it with grandma.
And how long did she live with grandma after the 2010 incident?
I want to say 6 months.
Did you or Tiffany ever did you go to court to get her back, or were you just allowed to by defect?
No, I had to go, it was required for me to, it was required for Tiffany to take anger management and in-home counseling. The other program was volunteer. I didn't have to do it, I just did it.
The one that you talked about,
yeah.
Dad's class,
Yeah.
right? And so after you completed that, were you allowed to get Imani back?
Yeah, after several supervised visits.
Did you ever talk to your mom about Imani staying with her?
Yeah, I have.
And how did you feel about that?
I didn't really mind.
Right. But I'm talking about after 2010. Did your mom ever ask for Imani to come and live with her?
Yes, yeah.
And what did you say to that?
In my pride, I said I was trying to prove something to my mom that I could do it, and I said no.
And so you got Imani back when?
I got it back in 2010.
And so did she move with you from Pearlie's house to the Miranda Chase apartment?
Yes.
At the apartment, did she have her own room?
Yes, she did.
Now, tell me about your work situation when you moved into the Miranda apartment. What were you doing?
When I moved to Miranda Chase, only way I had to do it, I had to end up getting 2 jobs.
Okay. Tell the jury about the jobs.
First job was KGP Logistics Warehouse. I was forklift operator. And Rudy Kirkland introduced me to one of his friends, and I ended up working at Angry Express. It's a forklift driver. They also opened up.
Tell the jury what your schedule was while you lived at the Miranda Chase apartment.
On typical Monday to Friday, from 6:30 the first job, KGP, is 6:30 to 3:30. Angry Express, it's a little bit different. It starts at 6, and it depends on if you finish up the work in order for you to go home. So I say average, probably 1 or 1:30. Sometimes 2
in the morning.
In the morning.
How long did it take you to get to your job?
It was right off of Old Milk, I think at Old North Cops Road. So it was about, I want to say 15 minutes.
So what time did you have to leave your house in the morning to get to your first job?
First job, because it was on the other side of Swanee, I would have to leave to be on there, to be on time. I'd say 5 in the morning, just to be on time because it'd be traffic.
And what time would you get home from your first job?
I want to say a little bit, probably with traffic at the end, I'd say about 4:30, almost 5.
And then what time would you have to leave for your second job?
About 5:30, because I had to be there at 6.
And then what time would you get home at night?
Anywhere from 1 to 1:30.
And then what did you do from 1:30 to 5:30?
I would try to go to get some sleep and get up and do it again.
And when did you start the second job about the time that you moved into the apartment?
I started the second job before I got the apartment. Because I couldn't do it with my income because out in apartments, or most apartments, you have to make 3 times the rent. And if I tried to get it with the one job, I wasn't able to make 3 times the rent.
So, is it fair to say you were at your house about 3 hours a day during the waking hour?
Yes.
And was that Monday through Friday?
Yes, sir.
What would you do on the weekend?
Weekend, I wasn't doing much of the time. I'd be in the house with the kids.
What was Tiffany doing on the weekend?
Weekend was like an outlet for her to get a break.
Would she go out with her friends?
Yeah, or she might be over there with her mother or her sister.
And was that okay with you at that point?
Yeah.
During the times, particularly after you moved into the apartment, during the times that you were at work, would you ever get communications from, well, first of all, were you allowed to get cell phone calls or telephone calls while you were at work?
Oh, I was not allowed to have my cell phone, but I had it with me anyway.
Would you get calls from Tiffany during the day?
Yes.
Did they ever talk about Imani?
A lot of time they were text messages.
And what were the types of text messages you would get?
One incident said Imani boo-booed and put it on the wall. Got another call telling me that Imani boo-booed again and put it in the oatmeal in the food. get going down the list, different things. Or Imani tried to run away.
Would it be fair to say that a lot of the texts that you got had to do with Tiffany claiming that Imani was misbehaving?
Yes.
So you're her father. What did you do about that?
I didn't do absolutely nothing.
Did you believe your wife when she told you that?
I did.
Why?
I don't know. I had a question, but I did.
Why? Why you
did
do
you ever
this?
seek out more family counseling?
I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go back a little bit so y'all can hear it. Cause he just pissed me off. I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me a minute. He just pissing me off. I'm just saying. He is pissing me off. He is really pissing me off. He is really pissing me off. That's all. I'm gonna push play.
Do it again and put it in the oatmeal, in the food. Get going down the list, different things. Or Imani tried to run away.
Would it be fair to say that a lot of the texts that you got had to do with Tiffany claiming that Imani was misbehaving?
Yes.
So you're her father. What did you do about that?
I didn't do absolutely nothing.
Did you believe your wife when she told you that?
I did.
Why?
I don't know. I had a question, but I did.
Did you ever seek out more family counseling for your child?
I didn't.
Did you ever take her to a doctor to see if she was sick?
I did one time. It was in, we were saying with my mother-in-law, but I didn't stick to the appointment.
So you really didn't take her to that?
I didn't really. I went to one thing.
And when you say that Tiffany was telling you that Imani boo-booed, that means she went to the bathroom, right?
Yes, feces defecated.
And did you ever see evidence of feces on the wall of your apartment? Did you ever see a bowl with oatmeal and feces in it in the sink?
No.
Let's go to the week, approximately the week of October the 24th of 2013. At that point, had you noticed that Imani was sick?
Yes.
Tell me what you mean, what I mean by sick, or what you mean by sick.
Well, we moved to Miranda Chase, and we were saying wasn't that she had a growth spurt, but she was thin, but she started to get thinner when we moved to Miranda Chase.
Whose responsibility did you feel at that point was to feed your child?
During the weekday, Tiffany, and mostly on the weekend it was me.
Right. And on the weekends when you were with Imani, did she eat?
Yeah, she would try to eat a lot. Actually, on the weekend she would like try to gouge.
They should have told you something.
I don't need to correct you.
They should have gave him some kind of idea like something was wrong.
And that was during basically the summer of 2013, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry.
Almost going into the fall, September.
You moved into the apartment in September, so it would have been in the fall of 2013, right?
Yeah.
Did Imani get thinner?
Yes.
And did she seem like she had lost her ability to be active?
Yes.
Now, during the time you lived at Miranda Chase, did you and Tiffany have date night, or did you go out?
No, not really.
And did you ever take your 2 younger kids out of the apartment?
Well, I didn't.
And who did anyone take
Uh,
out?
yeah, they usually go over there. I know the other two would go over there to grandma's house.
And while the other two are, when you say grandma, do you mean Pearlie?
Yeah.
What was Tiffany's relationship with your mom?
It wasn't a good relationship.
Did they ever go and see your mom, who's her other grandmother?
I think the last time they saw him, matter of fact, they came over when he was living with my mother-in-law. My mother came to see Emma.
When she was born?
Yeah, and bought Tristan a birthday present.
Did you see your mom on Mother's Day of 2013?
No, I did not see. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Do you remember your mom talking to you about Imani then?
Yes, she did.
And what did she ask you?
She asked me. She said she's thin and she need to come stay with me.
And what did you answer?
In my pride, trying to prove my mother wrong, I said no. Deep down in the heart, I felt like it was probably the best place, but I didn't do it.
At Mother's Day of 2013, had Imani's hair changed?
Yes, she had an incident. She had, but I didn't see it, but, we're told that she had cut her hair with some scissors.
Who told you that?
Tiffany.
You let that bitch come home.
Did you ever ask Imani how her hair got cut?
She never go in detail. She said, I did it. She never said, why did you do it? She said, I did it. Every time I asked her, like, she told me you did this, and Imani said, yeah, I did it.
And I mean, did she seem angry or defiant? So at that point, did you believe her?
Kind of did, and I kind of didn't.
Did you happen to hear Tiffany make a statement to your mom about your daughter's hair?
I don't think I heard. No, I didn't. I think I got a phone call, but I didn't hear the statement.
Now, when you say a phone call,
it's like later after you talking about Mother's Day, right?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear the statement, but it was said to me when after I left. I got a phone call from my sister.
And was your sister very happy when she called you?
No.
Let's go back. Starting in October the 24th of 2013. Did you work that day?
Yes, I did.
Did you work your first job?
Yes, both jobs.
When you got home from your first job, did you see Imani on that day?
On the 24th. Yes, I did.
Where was she?
She was in a bedroom, laid out, deceased.
I want to make sure, because in one of your prior statements, you said that on the 24th, that you found her in the bathtub. Does that help
Okay. I'm going back. I'm thinking about 24th.
On the 24th, was there an occasion where you came home and Imani was in a bathtub?
Yes, that was that day I went to work at the first job, which is KGB Logistics. I was having car trouble with the Chevy Trailblazer. I think it was a water hose or whatnot, and it kept running hot. So coming home, I thought I had it fixed because I came out and said your antifreeze is all on the ground, so I had to put water in there. I come home. Then I'm trying to work on it. Then I go and drive it to Avon Express. And I get it, start running hot as I pull into the driveway. And I went and talked to the manager. He said, you can't get home. You're going to fix it. We just give you the day off. We got somebody to fill in. So I take the car back. I take the car back. It took me a while to get home because I had to keep stopping, getting water, because it kept running hot. And cut off, cool off, finally get to the house, but I never went in. I just called, said, I'm down here trying to work on the car. I gotta fix it. If I can't fix it, I can't get it work. If I can't get it work, I can't provide.
Who did you call to say all that?
Tiffany. She was in the house.
So you didn't go to the house when you left your first job? You didn't go to the apartment?
Yeah, I did. I ran in. I didn't have enough time to get a nap or anything. I just ran in and changed because I had to wear a different uniform. Couldn't wear the other clothes that I wear at the first job. I had to actually put on a uniform. So I put on a uniform, get in the car, try to run and make it to Ava, and I get there. And I wasn't able to stay because the car was messing up. And the manager told me to just go back to the house. I go back to the house. I'm trying to fix the water hole. I'm down there. I ended up staying down there until it got dark. I want to say it had to be late. I want to say about 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock.
So when you went back into your apartment, is that when you found Imani in the bathtub?
Yeah, I went in there. I know she was giving me pictures. She sent me a picture. She said she gonna feed the kids. Tiffany.
Tiffany. And in those pictures, she said that she had fed the kids.
Yeah, on the phone she said I had fed all the kids. So I'm at that point when I'm coming out, I think they all asleep. I come in, I go to the little laundry room, put my toolbox in. I go to the kitchen. She said something about a new dish that she made. Go to the refrigerator. I come out of the kitchen and Tiffany tells me to come in. She said something wrong with Imani. I leave there. I go into the bathroom. She's in the tub. And she's shaking like she having a seizure.
So what did you do?
I didn't go with my first mind. I said we need to go take her to 911. I take her to the hospital.
Did Tiffany have anything to say about when you said that?
Said we can't.
Did she explain to you why you couldn't take your daughter to the hospital?
She was real thin.
Yeah, but did Tiffany tell you why you couldn't take your daughter to the hospital?
No, she didn't give me why.
Now, let's stop there and go back 4 or 5 days into October. At some point, did you come home and discover Imani had been burned?
Yes.
Tell the jury about that.
Matter of fact, I think I got a phone call at work. Said, or was it a text me? I think it was either one of them, but I got a phone call. I think I got a text too. That she was cooking something with a pot and she spilled the water on her stomach.
Imani was cooking?
Imani, yeah. Tiffany said Imani was cooking.
And that she spilled the pot?
Yeah.
Did Tiffany tell you what was in the pot?
No. Said hot water.
So you went.
Push pause for a second. I just want to pause for a second, y'all. And I want to say this. All these instances that is happening to this baby, and you just sit here and you just take her damn word. She's running away from home. You wondering why she's running away from home? The reason why she's running away from home because she's being beaten. Then your wife has a charge for abusing your child, but instead of you leaving her, your dumb ass, let me just say this, and I'm sorry for the ones. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on. If this was the only piece of pee you could get, you just let this piece of this nappy-headed chick, this trick, this heifer kill your beautiful child. You are that, screw what I'm about to say, pussy whipped. That you couldn't see this woman killing your damn child.
When you went home, did you look at your daughter and
Yeah.
What did you see?
She had a skull on her stomach, like a round little skull part on the stomach.
And
on her.
Did you say we ought to take her to the doctor?
Yeah, but I didn't do it.
So on the 24th, you found her in the bed, in the bathtub, and did it look to you like Imani was having a seizure?
That's my knowledge. Yes.
I know you're not a doctor, but what did she look like?
She was shaking, like, you know.
Could she speak?
She was trying to say something. She wasn't speaking much. She was just, you know.
Were her eyes moving at all?
They were going from left to right.
So
why you didn't get your daughter some
after
help?
Tiffany said we can't call the doctor, we can't take her to the hospital, what'd you do with her?
Kept her in the room.
Which room?
In her room.
I mean, did you put her on the floor, or where did you put her?
On a mattress, and on the floor.
Eman, did she ever get up out of that bed?
No, she didn't after the seizure thing. No, she didn't.
Did you go in and check on her in the days that followed?
Yes. I was trying excuse me, sorry. Yes, I did. And I was trying to feed her feed her through a spoon with infant. Okay.
What were you trying to feed?
Infant meal, like a liquid diet, but it wasn't working.
What do you mean it wasn't working?
It wasn't working.
Well, I mean, did she spit it back up, or did she not be able to swallow it, or did it spill on the bed? And when you say not working,
when I'm talking about her weight.
Okay.
As far as, you know, she was swallowed, but it wasn't, you know, as far as what I'm saying, it was beyond repair.
At that time, was she able to get up herself and go to the bathroom?
No, sir.
Was she going to the bathroom in the bed?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see any sores or anything like that on her?
Like dead sores or just sores?
Just sores around her bottom, or sores from laying in the bed, anything like that?
She had far her when she got scarred at, it was healing around her stomach. Far that the scab.
Could she talk to you at that point?
She wasn't talking.
Would you agree that she was in pretty bad shape at that time?
She was in bad sleep.
Eman, did you take her to the doctor then?
I did not take her to the doctor, sir.
Why not?
I really can't explain it. I was trying
You fucking stupid.
I was trying to fix something, like I said. You know, I'm not God, but I'm trying to fix something irreversible or beyond repair. What I should have did, no,
go ahead. Finish your sentence. I'm sorry.
What I should have did was when I said, when the incident happened, to call 911. And when I didn't, I put myself in a bad mind. Sir.
What was Tiffany telling you about what you needed to do at that point?
She was saying that we can't call 911, we can't do that. We got to hide the body.
Well, why did she tell you that we can't call 911? I mean, you're this child's father.
Because she said, I'm on probation, I don't want to go to jail.
Did she say anything about losing your other children?
Yes.
I want to go now. So from the 24th, you put Imani in bed.
Yeah.
On the 28th of October of 2013, did Tiffany notify you somehow that Imani had died?
Yes, she called me at work.
Do you remember, was it the 28th or the 29th?
That they trying to judge a week.
Think about it in terms of,
okay.
Was it 1 or 2? Was it 2 or 3 days before Halloween?
Might have been a day before Halloween, or if not Halloween, I'm trying to think. Before Halloween.
And how did you get the notification that Imani had died?
It was on a Tuesday. I know which one. It was through a phone call.
Right. Where were you when you got the phone call?
I was at work.
And did you actually speak to Tiffany, or did you just get a text?
I think I talked to her on the phone.
And what did she tell you?
She said she's gone. She didn't say too much. She said she's gone. So when I came home...
Wait a minute. When you came home, did you leave work?
I did not leave work. I didn't leave work. I left work after I got out. I tried to leave early, but she didn't let me get a half day. So I actually left work on the regular time.
So your child is dead, and
3:30 in the afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And you still ain't working.
What did you do when you got home?
At this point, I'm devastated. I'm really messed up. Honestly, I go in the room, and from that time, I usually take a nap. I was in the room with an Imani body until about time to go to work to Avery.
All right. Let me ask you: did you do anything to confirm that she had died?
She was dead.
How could you tell?
I've been in a lot of funerals, and I could tell, she was cold. Her essence went there. Her eyes, she was gone.
Where was Tiffany when you came in the house?
When I walked in, the other two kids, when Tristan was running around playing, he came in. I'm really messed up at the time. He said, "Daddy, Daddy." I walked past him, and we in the pack and play, and she was watching TV.
Did you have any conversation with her when you walked by her watching TV?
No, not at that moment.
And after you went into the room and saw that Imani was dead, did you go out and talk to Tiffany?
Yes, that was after. After I came from in there. Yeah.
What y'all talk about?
Talking about concealing her death, making it like since she had a history of running away, make it seem like she ran away.
But Mom, let me ask you. When you discovered your daughter dead, what did you want?
911.
You should have did 911 when you found her in the tub.
I wanted to hide it.
There's a question that has to be asked. Why did you agree to that?
I was trying to, it don't make any sense. I guess I was trying to fix the problem that I couldn't fix. I was trying to save her, but I couldn't save her. I couldn't save my daughter. I can't explain it.
Were you afraid of losing your other kid?
That too.
So Tiffany came up with a plan that you had to hide the body. Did you go to work for your second job that day?
Yes, I did.
And when you got off the work of the second job, what did you do?
At the second job at Avery, I went back home, and you probably get asked, manager, I was out of it. As far as sleep, I just went myself. And you talk about the day that we
the day you learned that Imani was dead. The day that you
I went both. Yeah.
What did you do after you went to your second shift, your second job?
I went to worked that shift. Almost had an incident. I almost ran the forklift off it's an open dock. I almost ran it off the dock. And go ahead.
When you got home, but what I want to focus on is when you got home from your job. I understand you were upset, but when you got home from your job, let me ask you, was Imani still in the bed? When you got home?
No, she was laying on a blanket on the floor when you talking about when I came home from my first job, right?
Well,
and I went in
you didn't tell me. So when you came over your first job, I think you earlier testified that you went in and checked on her. I don't think I asked you what she was. Where was she?
She was on the floor on a blanket. And you asked me how did I know she was dead? I was saying she was cold. And then no movement in her eyes. She was lifeless.
So when you got home from your second job, where was Imani then?
She actually was still in the room on the blanket that the door was closed.
And where was Tiffany?
When I came home for the night, she was in the bed in the back room sleep, and the other kids were sleeping in their room when I came home from the night job.
So that night, did you move Imani from the floor of her bedroom? Or did you just leave her there?
Well, that night I actually left. I left her in there for I think one more day. Then I moved her to the little computer in the way the apartment is set up as a computer room.
Right, was that the next day?
Yes, sir.
So when you got home and saw her on the floor and Tiffany was asleep in the bed, did you go to bed that night?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know if I stated this. When I came home late, see, I wasn't sleeping in the room with Tiffany, so I usually sleep on the couch or made me a pile on the floor in the living room during that time. So, I went in the room that night. I was in there for a while again with Emani, and then I stepped out. I laid down, my normal thing I do at nighttime on the couch and got up and did the normal routine of going to work.
So you went to work the day after you found your daughter dead, and you went to the first job.
Yes.
And did you come home that day from your first job?
Yes.
And was Imani still in her room when you got home that afternoon?
Yes, until I moved her.
Okay, so tell me what you did with her when you got home from your first job the day after she had died.
I moved her to the computer room. Wrapped up in the blanket.
You wrapped her up in the blanket?
Yeah.
And did you go to your second job that day?
Yes, sir.
When you got home from your second job on the day after your daughter died, so it's, 1 or 2 in the morning?
Yes, sir.
What did you do that evening or that morning?
Something about Friday. Friday evening.
Let's not worry about the days or dates too much. Let's just sort of work it one day at a time.
Okay.
So it's the day after your daughter died. You said you went to work.
Yes, sir. I went to both jobs.
And that during that time is when you moved her into the computer room.
Yes, sir.
And then you went to your second job.
Yes, sir.
What did you do after you got home from your second job?
Every time I got from the second job, I'd go back in where I moved in the computer room. I'd go in there, and I would go in there with the body.
And what were you doing?
I was in there grieving.
During that day, did you have any conversations with Tiffany about what y'all needed to do? I mean, you got a dead body of a child in your apartment. What are y'all gonna do?
That happened the day of when you said we can't do this. We gotta hide it. We gotta hide it. We on some criminal mind type stuff.
Did Tiffany like to watch real court TV shows and crime shows?
Crime shows.
And so she actually said to you that we have to be on our criminal mind.
Yes.
So we're back the day after Imani died. You came home from your second job. You spent time with her in the computer room.
Mm-hmm.
Did you sleep that night?
Not really.
And did you get up the next morning
and go back to work?
Go back to work.
Yes, I did.
And you worked your regular shift.
Yes, I did.
So by this time, we're somewhere around October the 30th.
Yeah.
During that period of time, was Tiffany asking you about what are we going to do with his body?
He wanted to, get rid of, like, bury it.
Right. So on October the 30th, did you did you go to your second job?
Yes, I did.
And after you left your second job, did you go to a Walmart?
Yes, I did.
What did you buy at the Walmart?
About best of my recollection, I bought a bag of choco, 10 trash can, box of lawn, garbage bag. I think lawn garbage bag.
About what time of the day or night was that?
This was late at night because I think Walmart was 24 hours. I can't remember the time. I know it was late at night.
It's late at night, and you're at a Walmart, and you buy a trash can, and you buy a lawn bags, and you buy charcoal briquettes.
Yes.
Why'd you buy those?
To try to call myself trying to cremate the body, and you can't cremate the body. I didn't know that then.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it
to
cremate the
but
body?
he is the stupidest ass. Y'all, hold on. Y'all heard that. This fool, this idiot, and this what he is. Like, he's a stupid idiot. And he's slow. And he need prayer. This ignorant man bought, yes, Kendra, your own child. You did this to your own child. You said you trying to cremate the body. How you gonna cremate the body? You cooking the body. You are cooking the body. It's ignorant. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry.
To the little computer, and the way the apartment is set up is computer room.
Right, was that the next day? It's late at night, and you're at a Walmart, and you buy a trash can, and you buy Iowa State's Exhibit number 8.
Hold on.
Mr. Moss, I'm gonna show
Bag of choco, 10 trash can, box of lawn, garbage bag. I think lawn garbage bag.
about what time of the day or night was that?
This was late at night because I think Walmart was 24 hours. I can't remember the time. I know it was late at night.
It's late at night, and you're at a Walmart, and you buy a trash can, and you buy a lawn bags, and you buy charcoal briquettes.
Yes.
Why'd you buy those?
To try to call myself trying to cremate the body, and you can't cremate the body. I didn't know that then.
Whose idea was it to cremate the body?
I think she just wanted to bury the body. I didn't want to bury the body. So I guess it was my idea to try to cremate.
Hang on one second.
Okay.
Yarn, may I approach you with?
You may.
Mr. Moss, I'm going to show you some items that have been previously marked First being State's Exhibit number 4. Can you look at that and identify it, and more particularly, identify the person that appears?
Yes.
Is that a photograph that contains your image?
Yes.
I'd also like to show you State's Exhibit number 5. Can you look at that and tell what that is, and more particularly the person that's in that photograph?
That's me.
State's Exhibit number 6. Can you look at that and identify it, and a particular person that's in that?
That's me.
State's Exhibit number 7 is a photograph. Can you describe that and the person that's in it?
That's me again.
And finally, State's Exhibit number 8. Can you take a look at that and tell us who that person is?
That's me. Yeah.
Now, how do you know it's you? How do you recognize yourself?
I see the hat, and that's my face. I had a jacket like that. I think it's an echo.
I'm going to show these to the defendant, and then we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
And then her dumb ass. And then what she is going to defend her own self. Just as guilty as she's gonna be. Both of them need death. They both, she because of the fact that she starved the child to death, him because he was stupid and henpecked and ignorant and stupid.
Your Honor, at this time we would tender State's Exhibit number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We intend to tie up the chain of custody. These are identified as Walmart security photos, and we intend to bring in the original disc and have them brought in as part of a business record with one of our next witnesses. But we would move for preliminary admission so that I can go into the contents of them.
Any objection? States 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are each admitted without objection.
And Your Honor, may I approach the witness again? Mr. Moss, I particularly want to show you State's Exhibit number 7. Can you describe what's in this to the jury, and then what are you doing there? Can you tell from that photograph?
Looking like at that moment, looked like probably lifting up the trash can. I guess it had a skin or a skin on the bottom of it, and I think I'm lifting it up so she can scan it.
So, are you paying for the items at the Walmart? In other words, are you checking out?
Yeah, I'm checking out.
And do you have the lid to the trash can in your hand?
Yes.
And the actual can is in your other hand?
Yes.
One other question. Each of these photographs is date stamped. Can you take a look here in the middle and tell the jury what the date stamp on that photograph?
10/30/2013.
So after you left the Walmart, where did you go?
I went to the house.
Did you leave all these items in your Trailblazer?
I left the trash can.
And what did you do with the lawn bags and the charcoal briquettes?
The lawn bags I brought back to the apartment. I left the charcoal back there also. And a bag of, I think it was a lighter, a big candle lighter stick, I think.
So you took the trash bags inside the house?
Yes, I did.
What did you do with them?
I took them up. At that time, I took it up, and I had to get Imani body.
Where was her body at that time?
I think I'm jumping from the days of that, because I didn't do that until that Friday from that date.
You didn't get her body?
Yeah, I didn't put her body in the trash bag until that Friday morning.
Okay.
I'm jumping a little ahead.
All right. I want to try and stay on day today if we can.
Okay.
So that was the day before Halloween.
Yes.
You brought the trash bags into the house.
Yes.
And did you go to bed that day?
A little bit, but I didn't get much sleep.
All right. And did you get up on Halloween day and go to work?
Yes, I did.
Did you see Imani before you left?
I always go in that room. Every time I came back, I'd go in that room by myself. Everybody be asleep.
Where was Tiffany during all this time?
Just doing the normal routine, cooking for the kids, watching TV.
During that time, was she talking to you about what you all needed to do about this?
I think during that time she was during the day. She was Imani was doing the homeschool thing. I don't know if I said anything about that, but the homeschool thing, Connect Academy,
right?
She would do her schoolwork that make it seem like Imani was, doing the schoolwork or the Connect thing.
At any point, are you aware of whether or not she sent messages to Imani's teacher?
I'm not aware of if she did or not.
Do you know if the two little ones trick-or-treated on Halloween?
Yes, they did. Matter of fact, I got a picture of them two dressed up.
Do you know who took them trick-or-treating?
I think she went with her sister. That's to my knowledge. I think she went with her sister.
And where were you when you got the picture?
I was at work.
All right, so Halloween night, you come home from your second job. And what do you do then?
I do the same thing that I have been doing since that Monday, since that Tuesday. I mean, that same thing, going in there, going in the room. And she pushed me to, get rid of the body. I'm stalling because I'm not doing it. I went to Walmart buying things, but I didn't go through. I didn't go through it on that day.
Why not?
Didn't really want to do it.
So on Friday, after the day after Halloween, is that the day you finally decided something had to be done?
Yeah.
So was it in the morning or afternoon?
It was morning, but it was late. I would say like late at night, type like 11 or 12 o'clock.
On the day after Halloween?
Yeah.
But weren't you at work on that day?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have gotten home from work at 11 o'clock, would you?
No, I think it was probably 12 or 1. And I know it was late. It had to be like 1 or 2.
And was Tiffany still awake then?
Yeah, she was awake then.
So when you went into the house, what did you do?
On that day, I was trying to get rid of the body. I go to the computer room. She come in to help me. Then I get the body and take it back into her room.
Into
Imani's bedroom. Take the body to Imani's bedroom. Wrap the blanket that she's wrapped in. Take her body out.
Hang on a second, I forgot one step.
Okay.
Did you ever put duct tape on?
I was about to get to that. From that day, I was, laying out from my rapping.
So you put a blanket over her.
Yeah. So she's already in the blanket. So take her to the room and wrap her out the blanket. And I'm at that time, like I said, I'm not familiar with rigor mortis, but it done set in, and it was hard to bend the body, and that's where the duct tape came involved in. And at that time, Tiffany's in there in the bedroom with me, helping me do this.
So when you don't have to be familiar with rigor mortis.
Okay.
Did you have to force her legs to fold?
Yes, sir.
Did you and Tiffany do that together?
Yes, sir.
Did you have to sort of force her arms down by her side?
Yes, sir.
And did you and Tiffany do that together?
Yes, sir.
It seems like it would be difficult for one person to wrap duct tape around the little girl's body. How did that happen?
That is very difficult.
Did Tiffany help you with that?
Yes, she did.
Emani, your daughter's been dead for 3 days now. How difficult was it to get her folded up like that?
Very, very much difficult.
Were there sounds?
Kind of like, I guess, like cracking sound. I don't know what to compare it to. What I'm saying.
And after you got her duct taped together, what happened then?
After that, she helped me, because she's a lot more heavier than she was before. Put her in a lawn bag.
Where was the trash can at that point?
Trash can was in the vehicle, the trail bag.
And once you got Imani into the trash bag, what did you do then?
From that moment, I tied up the bag, the trash bag that she was in. Then I took another bag, and I think Tiffany took the blankets and stuff that she had and put them all in the other stuff.
Now, the blankets came from where?
The comforter, her comforter bed, her blanket that she was wrapped into.
But whose bed was it?
That was Imani.
Was that bed soiled? Was it? I mean, was there where she had gone to the bathroom in the bed?
Yes.
What did you do with the mattress?
I know Tiffany said she had cleaned the mattress.
So you packed one garbage bag with blankets and were there clothes in it?
Yes.
And so you have two of these trash bags, one of them with your daughter. What do you do then?
From that, then I take the trash bag and then the body, and I put her in the back of the Trailblazer.
And later on that night, did you leave the apartment complex and try and find a place?
Yes.
Who was with you while you were doing that?
My wife and my two other little kids.
So where did you go from the apartment with the body of your daughter in the
Right now, at that moment, I'm really out of it. I'm just driving. I go to a park, I think it's in Montreal, Bethesda Park.
Whose idea was it to go to Bethesda Park?
I really didn't know. We were just driving. She said, we got to be. I didn't know where to go. I'm just driving at the time.
And what's Tiffany telling you at this time?
Just find a spot.
At any point during this, are you thinking about that I need to call police? I need to do something?
Yes.
But you didn't. Why?
I felt like I was already messed up.
So did you end up off of Satellite Boulevard?
Yeah, that was before I got there. I ended up driving all the way to Stone Mountain. just driving down back roads.
And what were you looking for?
I said I was looking for. I told her I was looking for a spot, but I was really sorry. I didn't really want to do it. But I'm just saying that I'm stalling. I'm just driving, and we all the way in Stone Mountain. That's how I ended up on satellite.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop it right here. Tomorrow we will listen to the rest of his testimonies. Only like 15 minutes of it left. I'm gonna leave it right here, guys, because I'm getting tired and I want to discuss it. So tune in tomorrow night around 9 p.m. 9 p.m. tomorrow night to finish out the testimony of this man, and we'll have another discussion behind that. I wanted to make sure you guys tune in tonight, because tomorrow night we're going to discuss our feelings on this and how this is just a travesty and how this man failed his daughter. I'm getting sleepy and I'm getting tired, so I want to make sure that, I give you guys good content. So tune in tomorrow night, guys, at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time to finish this out. It's a sad case, but hopefully, guys, we can finish this out tomorrow with a bang. So make sure y'all have a good night. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow.